Thank you for purchasing the Farmer Helper brand BX42 wood chipper attachment. Here at Betstco, we strive to make your experience as easy and pleasant as possible. We have produced this short video to assist you with the assembly of this machine so that you can get up and running quickly and easily. Follow these simple steps and you will be out in the field chipping in no time. Always wear proper PPE when using tools. Before we begin, here are the tools, hardware, and components of the chipper that you will need for this assembly process. A socket wrench or impact drill, angle grinder or sawzall, a grease gun, wire cutters, two 10mm wrenches or sockets, a 17mm wrench or socket, 18mm wrench or socket, a 19mm wrench or socket, a hoist, tractor, or forklift to lift the machine. The hardware included: A. 13 lock nuts that fit 19mm. B. 2 lock nuts that fit 17mm for the bottom of the hopper. C. 8 lock nuts for the discharge chute. D. 8 washers for the legs. E. 3 washers. F. 2 bolts for the discharge chute handle. G. 6 bolts for the discharge chute. H. 5 bolts for the hopper and rotor hood. I. 8 bolts for the legs. The following are the components that make up the different parts of the chipper: the hopper, rotor housing, discharge chute, spacer rings, hood latch and hood capture ring, stand legs, chipper housing, bed blade. Remove the plastic wrapping and inspect the machine for damage. Cut the wires holding the components to free them from the crate for removal. Inspect and remove the chipper components from the crate. With an angle grinder or hacksaw, cut the crate at the bottom of the vertical points. Then remove the top of the crate for easy access to the machine. Use a hoist, tractor, or forklift to remove the machine and place it in the staging area you have chosen to assemble the machine. Tilt the base of the chipper so that the 3-point hitch is laying on the ground. This will allow you to put the legs on easily. Attach the stand legs. The hardware for this step is contained in the stand legs when unwrapped. Use a 19mm wrench on the nut and an 18mm socket on the bolt to secure the legs to the chipper base. Return the base to the standing position. Place the rotor hood over the flywheel and fasten it into place with the included hardware. 2 bolt and luck nuts for the back, and 1 bolt, washer, and lock nut for the front. You'll need an 18mm wrench or socket for the bolts and a 19mm wrench or socket for the nuts. Liberally apply grease to the rotor hood at the top where the discharge chute will be attached. Next, we will illustrate how the spacer rings and hood capture will fit together. Place the F-bolts through the holes that line up with the handle on the discharge chute, rings, first half of the hood capture, and the handle itself. Then loosely attach the nuts. Allow spacer rings to move in and out of position. Line up the discharge chute and attach using a few G-bolts. Attach the remaining hood capture to the discharge chute to tighten down with 2 10mm wrenches or sockets. Place the hopper up to the opening at the chipper base and place the bolts through the top mounting holes. The lower part of the hopper lines up with studs. Run bolts through the top holes of the hopper and loosely thread on the lock nuts. Then tighten down the bolts at the top of the hopper. You will need 18mm wrench or socket for the bolt and a 19mm wrench or socket for the lock nut. Then thread the lock nuts onto the studs to secure the bottom of the hopper opening. You will need a 17mm wrench or socket to tighten these nuts.